conserved painting. If I don't know what is the difference between this and this, because art conservator must not make by their own, but use the same methods that were used when the painting or sculptures that was first made. So if I do not have the eye to tell these differences between like paints and like drawing methods, I could not make them like really exactly the same. And secondly, I should have the skill to do this thing properly. If I do not do this conserving properly, it could lead to more bad results. For example, in Spain, there is a painting called Ecce Homo, which means look at the man. It is drawn by a painter named Garcia Martinez. And after time, because of moisture, it gets damaged. So, 80-year-old lady named Cecilia Jimenez tried to conserve it. She is really good at painting. However, the painting was not drawn on a canvas and was drawn on a wall. So you should draw it quickly before the paint dries. However, she didn't know this and just draw, and the result was this. This was the first painting, and this was the damaged painting, and this was the conserved painting. So like this, conserving without proper knowledge can lead to more worse results. So I think I should have more knowledge in conserving. And lastly, I should go to good college and high school. In Korea, there is like no art conservation specialized school. However, in Italy, there are many of them, because in Italy there are many and lots of artistic monuments that have to be preserved. So there are many art conservation specialized schools. One of them is Palazzo Spinelli. This school teaches their students every ways to conserve the paint artworks in different types of damage, like from time, moisture, and like torn off. So like this, I think I should go to good college. Thank you.
The question? And? Yes, please.
If the art conservator ruined the pictures, what happened to her?
The woman?
Yeah, like
She went to trial, but it wasn't her like real fault. She just wanted to fix it, and also by that they earned a lot of money because many people came to look at it. So she didn't really go to jail. But if a real art conservator does like that, they can get fired from their job.
Can you tell us another example, like how somebody ruined a great painting?
There was a painting called The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci, and this painting was not finished when the war happened, and so it got really damaged. So many art conservators fixed it now. However, it was really damaged, and the original painting was little left.
Yes, good. Perfect more.
Fantastic research. You were teaching me lots of so thank you. Yeah, an art conservator, yes, needs to understand the lady who made the mistake didn't understand the material she was working with. So to learn more about materials, what sort of science do you think you need?
I didn't research about.
Okay. Material science is a branch of science that involves chemistry and physics as the main components. So you need to understand the chemistry that's happening, like before with the cations and anions, but also you need to understand the materials and what the painting is on and what the type of paints they use. Because if you understand the materials, porosity means how easy the paint soaks in, and the type of material, then you know what you can use to fix it. So material science is an important part of conservation. And so that you need some chemistry and you need some physics.
Okay. Let's go on. Kiana?
I said I want to be a food chemist, and to be a food chemist there are a lot of things that I have to do, but I think going to college is the most important thing for me, because food chemist is a professor, so they have to be specialized in chemics or nutritional science like this, so I have to go to the college. When I go to college, I will learn nutrition, physics, chemics, and psychology, and a lot of other subjects. Chemics is the most important thing because food chemists create new food or substance, and to understand about it, they have to learn about physics because chemics, because food can be changed by the environment or high temperatures like this. So they have to learn it, and they have to know how it can be changed. And then they also learn psychology because they have to learn about social trend or people's opinion about our food. So, and then he said, food chemists make crops to grow the food, and then to know it, they have to reflect the people's opinion. So they learn psychology and chemics. The university that I want to go is actually Seoul University because this is the most famous university in Korea. So I want to go to the Seoul University if I can go.
There's no much time, so let's go ask Professor Moore, please. Say something.
Thank you. I like your skills you talked about. I was particularly pleased about the psychology, because as a food chemist, you need to understand people's thinking if you're developing new foods and you want to promote new foods. So for that, congratulations. It was a different aspect that most people would not say. So I thought that was very good. To be a food chemist, do you know a little bit more about what sort of skills you might need?
In the college or
Yeah.
in the college?
Or either in the college or when you're working?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. As a food chemist, chemistry is a big area. So you'll need to know the biology and the biochemistry of food. So you see, as a food chemist, you need to know some biology. As a materials chemistry, not so much biology. So as an art conservator, that's not as important. But for a food chemist, biology is really important. And the biochemistry of food is very important. You don't need a lot of material science. unless you're looking at texture of foods. So the skills in that are chemistry, but biology and biochemistry. Those three areas are probably most important.
I plan to finish this discussion before 12 o'clock. Now it's 12 o'clock. I'll think about to have a little more time to.
I'm having a great time, so
That's okay.
yeah, if you guys want, yes,
Yeah.
I'm happy to start.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then let's have a little more time. The third theme is, if I had a job like this, I would do this. Please be free. I'm sorry, I will telephone to restaurant because I had made a reservation at 12:30. I postponed the time.
Okay.
I come back soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on.
Don't panic.
If I become a oceanographer, I will invent something that can solve the problem in the ocean. Then I will invent a substance that can be easily dissolved only at ocean, or I will invent a large garbage can used in ocean and will install in the ocean cycling board. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have a question?
Please, loud. You said you'll solve problems in the ocean, but like what kind of problems would you want to? I want to solve the problem like so many garbage, like ocean trash. So just like just garbage.
Oh, you said you'll make a substance that will dissolve only in the ocean. Oh, can you tell me specifically how you make it?
Maybe I should study at until this time. At this time, and I will study.
Okay. The garbage can for the oceans is something that lots of people are looking at. Do you have any idea of how or where you would put these garbage cans? And how would you, what do you do when it's full?
So, please say some. Please one more time.
Okay, so the garbage cans for the ocean, where would you put them? Do you have anywhere in idea of where these things should go?
Yeah.
And the second question is, when it is full, how do you empty it? Or where do you empty it?
I should think about it.
I mean, they're not easy questions. And the people who are designing these now have the same problems. collecting it is good, but then you need to put it somewhere, and they don't know what to do. So they don't know either, so if you don't know, you're the same.
Yes. And Sarah.
If I become a water chemist, I want to help people who cannot drink clean water like African. They lose their lives and get many diseases because of the dirty water. So water pollution kills 7 people every day. I want to work in global social enterprise like Bristol Cloud Pouncing. Bristol Cloud Pouncing invented the life straw. The life straw is water pitcher designed to be used by one person to pitcher water for drinking. Is saving billions of people. So if I become a water chemist, I will invent pitcher like life straw with my team, and I want to save them. Thank you.
Someone to ask? Oh, good.
Mr. Yolanda, how people cannot drink clean water? How would you help?
The question is very difficult. I think first I study very hard because water chemistry is very hard subject. Then African is almost water is very dirty, and many African drink dirty water, just not filtered. So I think I can help them like the best act is I invent filter, but it is very difficult. So I will I will donate them now, so I can have them slowly.
Okay.
That was on the very detailed answer. That was good. You stole my question. As a water scientist, you talked about the African people. You mentioned a type of filtration that's a commercial brand. I don't know the brand, but again, can you elaborate more on possible filtration, cheap filtration processes? Can I ask a question then, a different question? A lot of people who are drinking dirty water are drinking dirty water because it's on the surface. Where a village has a well, usually the water is cleaner. What do you think has happened? How did the water in the well get in the well?
One more.
Okay, so you understand the concept of a well. So there's a deep hole,
Yes.
and then people with a bucket
Yes.
and a rope pull up the water. The water in the well is clean,
Yes.
usually.
Yes.
The water on the surface is dirty.
Yes.
How does the water in the well get there? What happens? Where does the water in the well come from? Where do you think it comes from? Where does water come from usually?
Rain.
Rain. But the rain's on the surface. So how does it go from the surface to the water?
Absorb.
It gets filtered through the soil. So for filtration processes, it can be as simple as using soil in a drum. You have a hole at the bottom, some stones, and then you put the soil, and then the water. And as the water goes through the soil, all the bacteria get caught on the soil, and the water that comes out the bottom is clean. And so nature does that naturally, when it filters through down to the well. We can do that artificially, quicker. Every now and then you have to throw the soil out and get clean soil, but that's a simple filtration process. One of the students who are doing a project in our department comes from the Solomon Islands, and these are islands in the Pacific. They're very poor, and he is working to develop a simple soil filtration for his village and the villagers, using that process.
With Africa, there it rarely rains in Africa, so in under the ground there, I think there isn't much water.
Probably more than you think.
Oh, really?
It might be very deep, but there are aquifers. But there are a lot of surface rivers and streams that they're small, but they get the water from somewhere. And it's a surface. So if you pick up the water from the stream and just put it into a container that's got a hole at the bottom and a tap, and the water has to go through, they're going to collect the dirty water. But instead of drinking the dirty water, they put the dirty water into their filtering system, and then a bucket at the end that collects the water that comes out. Then they're cleaning the water before they drink the water. So they've got water, it's just dirty water. They need to make it clean water, and you do that by filtration.
That was very simple and best way, but there was very many people die because of water pollution. There was a good way, but why many people die of water pollution?
I think that the simple problem is its lack of education. They don't know. They don't know how to purify. And Western countries are busy looking after Western countries, and they don't look after the African or the poorer countries. I mean, it's a problem with a lot of society. We are very greedy, and we don't think of others. And so the technology's there. It's like food. There's enough food for the whole world, but there's too much greed. It's the same with water. It's a process that I think we can fix. It just takes a lot of time and a little bit of money and a lot of people. Education is the most important. Yeah, you had a question?
No.
Oh.
Yes, it was a very good speeches.
Yes.
Your speeches made me think very much about many things about all over the world. What problems? I think. Then, are we still?
So, if I will be able to be a toxicologist, I think I should try to be in many, before that I only researched about the sexy parts about toxicology, so, yeah. So I think I should try to be in many cases as possible, because it will help me to learn that there is different patterns for different cases, and that will help me to solve finding problems more quickly, which will make me a great toxicologist. And if I become a toxicologist, I want to, like I mentioned before, the Kim Song-jae murder. I want to solve problems like that because Kim Song-jae murder is still a rumor that he was killed by his girlfriend by a toxic chemical. So if I become a chemist, I want to solve problems like those.
Yeah, I mentioned before. Okay, you talked about as a toxicologist, I know you went for the sexy, and that's okay. A lot of our students do the same. You said you need to learn a lot of skills. Do you have any examples of maybe one or two skills that I think are particularly useful in areas of study?
I know that I need to study about forensic science because that's the basic subject of toxicology. And I think I should collect more evidence
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah, thank you. Toxicology, forensic science, again, is a big area. But as a toxicology, because you're looking at toxins, which are chemicals, and poisoning, which is a biological process, you need biology as well as chemistry. And as a forensic scientist, you will study both biology and chemistry, and some material science. Because if you, not as a toxicologist, but a forensic chemist can also be a fingerprint person, or someone looking at gunshot wounds, and then material chemistry comes into that. Toxicology needs to do some forensic science, but they need the biology and the chemistry.
I think you, Hyunjung, can do it well. And then, please.
If I become an art conservator, first I will conserve damaged artworks in Korea. Like I said, that 원각사지 10층 석탑, I will like conserve it, and like I will study about it, and I will conserve it. And also there is another like artwork that is being damaged. It is called, there is a statue of Buddha called Seokguram, and that artwork and that is damaging by year of like moisture and tourists and like the wind. So people who made a glass wall like the 원각사지 10층 석탑 to keep tourists away from like touching it or throwing trashes in it. So, but when this happened, moisture like formed inside of the walls, and then it gets more damaged again. So I will study about like conserving art more as I grow up, and then when I actually become an art conservator, I will conserve these arts that has like important their monuments. And secondly, I will conserve like other countries in famous paintings. There are famous paintings all over the world, not only in Korea. So a lot of countries' art is more like better, that many of them are better than Korea's. So I should conserve them to learn more better and efficient like conserving ways. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Taught me a lot. I think I've been to the statue of Buddha that you spoke about. It's down in the south near Gyeongju. Yes, it's up on a mountain. Yes, we were there in January. No, December 2017. It's really cold. But yeah, I understand that. It's hard to ask you questions because you do the research so well, and how what can be done. The example of the Buddha. What was a mistake you think the conservators did when they put the glass?
Well, it is like inside and it is like damp. So when you put glass barrier, no wind came in. So the moisture, like in the soil, can go inside the like statue, and then can form water on the statue.
Okay, so what do you have an idea of what they should have done?
Like create like a small wind tunnel.
So instead of having the full glass, maybe they should have had glass panels with a small gap so air could circulate. I think people have learned from other conservators' mistakes. Okay, good stuff.
Yes, it was a very interesting. I didn't know about the rest. Kim Jong-un.
After I become a food chemist, I want to work at the KFRY. KFRY is a Korean food industry company which has 4 departments such as food marketing, food sanitary, and creating new food. And among them, I want to work at the food creating department because it's really interesting. One of the food chemists made red pepper juice, and red pepper contains a lot of capsaicin. So when we intake this red pepper juice, capsaicin is disposed in our body and it will be absorbed in our organs. And capsaicin helps us to lose weight, so it will be good for us. Like this, I want to create a new food. What I want to create is a capsule, a pill, which when I eat it, I don't have to eat the meal. So if I don't have enough time to eat breakfast or dinner, I can eat it. Just, yeah. Thank you.
I like the story about the red pepper juice and the capsaicin. Capsaicin is also quite hot.
Yes.
Do they